Alright, I think it's about time we got the ball rolling with this stream. Alright, okay, we got everything good. Alright, we're live. How's it going, guys? It's Cerberus Night, and today I bring you guys my first stream on YouTube. But, today we're gonna be looking at the Purist. Today we're doing part 2 of the Purist mod. And I believe this was the choice for Yuri. Alright. Given how hard it is for her to socialize, I would feel awful turning her down, so... Isn't she so beautiful and smart? That has nothing to do with what I just said. Ha 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 ha, you admitted it. Jeez. There's not even any point in speculating something that's never going to happen. Well, maybe. But I just like to think about it. It's not long before you won't need me anymore, you know? Need you? Yuri, I can't figure out how you're seeing things in your head right now. Sorry. Everyone is different. Nobody in the club is a replacement for you. If you say so. The conversation trails off, and I'm left feeling awkward. But it was kind of her fault for trapping me with such a weird question. I can't just lie to her. But if there's something that makes her happy, I would hate to take that away from her. That's why I said there's no point in speculating. Then again, the festival is only a few days away. Who knows what will happen in that time? No, that's Starscape. I always thought that passion would be a Yuri word, not a Sayori. Landscape, yeah. Landscape would be a good one. Incapable. Horror. Intellectual. Melancholy. Or melancholy. I don't know how to pronounce that. Let's see. No, that's Sayori. Frightening. Uncontrollable. Vivacious. Disoriented? Yeah, disoriented. Existence, yes. Unrestrained. Philosophy. Tenacious, okay. I think that about does it for all the Yuri words. Oh man. Oh man. I'm the last one here again. Don't worry, I just walked in too. Were you practicing piano again? Yeah. Haha. You must have a lot of determination. Starting this club and now picking up piano. Well, maybe not determination. But I guess passion. Remember that the club wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of you. And I'm super happy that you're all willing to help out for the festival too. I can't wait for the festival. I can't wait for the festival, dang it. Because I'm so used to the sour tone that I made for Natsuki, I always read it. It's easy to make mistakes with. It's gonna be great. Eh? Weren't you complaining about it just yesterday, Natsuki? Well, yeah. I'm not talking about our part of the festival. But it's a whole day of school where we get to play and eat all kinds of delicious food. You sound a bit like Sayori all of a sudden. Monica, do they usually have fried squid? Squid? That's a pretty specific thing to look forward to. Oh, come on. Are you saying you don't like squid? You of all people? Eh? I didn't say I don't like it. Besides, what do you mean by you of all people? Because It's right in your name. Monica. Wait. Am I missing something here? Wait. I'm missing something here, aren't I? Hold on. What? Oh! So the second part of Monica's name is squid in Japanese. That's so cool. That is so cool. I didn't know that. Eh? That's not how you say my name at all. Also, that joke makes no sense in translation. Yeah, it does. Never mind. Let's just focus on our own event for now, okay? Hehehe. Fine, fine. Your reactions aren't as fun as Yuri's or Sayori's anyway. Excuse me. Where is Sayori anyway? Oh, there you are. Sayori is sitting at a desk in the corner of the room looking down at nothing. I walk over to her. Hey, Sayori. I wave my hand in front of her face. Eh? You're spacing out again. Sorry. Don't mind me. You can go talk to everyone else. Huh? Is everything alright? Of course. Why wouldn't it be? It just feels like you're a little off. Sorry for assuming things. Jeez, you worry too much about me. I'm fine, see? Sayori shows me a big smile. Don't let me distract you from having fun with everyone. Well, alright. If you say so. I worriedly glance at Sayori before turning back toward everyone else. But the conversation has already dispersed with everyone back at their usual activities. Maybe I should ask Monica if she's noticed anything about Sayori recently. Since they've been preparing for the festival, they must be spending a lot of time together. I timidly approach Monica, who is shuffling through some papers at her desk. Cerberus, what's up? Hey, this might sound a little strange, but have you noticed anything up with Sayori recently? Anything up with her? In what way do you mean? Maybe I'm reading into it a little too much, but she seems a bit downcast today. Oh? You think so? I can't say I've noticed anything about her. Monica peers across the room at Sayori, who is idly dragging a rubber eraser up and down her desk. Maybe there is something on her mind. But I'm surprised I'm not the one asking you, Cerberus. You certainly know her a lot better than I do. Yeah, but she's never really like this. She's always talked to me about things that bothered her. But this time, when I asked her, she was really dismissive. Sorry, I know it's not your problem. I just wanted to ask if you knew anything, so I'll drop it now. No. It's important to me, too. I mean, I'm also friends with her. And I also care about the well-being of my club members, you know? Maybe I'll try talking to her myself. Eh? Are you sure about that? She seemed like she wanted to be left alone. Are you sure? Maybe she just has a hard time bringing it up with the person of interest. Person of interest? What do you mean by that? I'm saying that maybe the thing on her mind is you, Cerberus. Me? How on earth would you come to that conclusion? Well, I probably shouldn't say too much, but Sayori talks about you more than anything else, you know? Eh? She's been so much happier ever since you joined the club. It's like an extra light was turned on inside of her. What? No way. Sayori is always like that. She's always been full of sunshine. It's not any different now. It's not any different now that. It's not any different now than it always has been. You're so funny, Cerberus. Have you thought that maybe you've always seen her as so cheerful? Because that's just how she is when she's around you? I said too much. I'm sorry. What do I know, anyway? I didn't mean to jump to conclusions, so you should just forget about what I said. I'll try to talk to her, so try not to think about it for now. Alright. Monica smiles meaningfully. I know she said to forget about it, but I already know that I won't be able to get her words out of my head. Monica stands up from her desk and walks across the room to where Sayori is sitting. I watch her kneel down next to Sayori and gently talk to her, but she's keeping her voice so quiet that I can't hear her from here. I sigh and sit myself down. I know Sayori told me not to worry about her and to have fun with everyone else, but that's impossible to do when she's behaving like this. Exactly how much do I care about her that I'm letting this weigh me down so much? Now it feels like I'm the one behaving out of the ordinary. But there's nothing I can do besides wait for Monica. Why does it feel like I'm being watched? I glance around the room. Suddenly, I notice Yuri peering at me from over her book, but she looks away just as quickly with a flustered look on her face. I realize that she won't get anywhere like this. I've never really seen Yuri approach anyone or start a conversation on her own accord, so I have no choice but to approach her myself. By now, it's a little easier for me to do that. I stand up from my desk and sit in one next her own. I didn't mean to bother you or anything. Relax. You didn't even do anything. But I could tell that you wanted to be alone with your thoughts. Alone with my thoughts? How are you even able to tell that I was thinking like that? Well, it's something that I do a lot. So it wasn't hard for me to spot based on your posture and expression. Not that I was staring or anything. I didn't do anything creepy like that. In any case, I guess you were right. I'm sorry if I caused you any concern. Don't apologize. Your troubles are only the concern of those who willingly share in that concern. Of course, there are certainly those who find the most comfort in keeping to themselves. But if you would prefer to share what's on your mind, then I would be glad to listen. It's really not that big of a deal. I was just feeling a bit uneasy about Sayori. Sayori? Yeah, she seems a little bit off today, but when I asked her about it, she didn't want to admit it to me. So I can't help but wonder if something happened to her. Oh? That's quite romantic. Eh? Sorry. I didn't mean to say something stupid. It's not that. I just didn't want you to misunderstand. Sayori and I have just been friends for a long time, that's all. Ah, I see. Then perhaps it is unusual for her to be dismissive to you about her feelings. Or maybe I'm just reading into a little bit too much. I always trip up on lines like those. Cerberus. The world is full of meaning, often hidden deep beneath plain sight. And there are many untold mysteries behind every person, no matter how well you may know them. Ah. So you think that there might be something behind it after all? I think that Sayori is a very complex person. Her mannerisms on the outside don't always match what may be going on inside her head. And she may not always know what she wants. I noticed her strange behavior today too, and I also feel some concern for her. But in your case, it looked like she was fully occupying your thoughts, wasn't she? Well, I guess that was the case. Sayori, she really means a lot to you, doesn't she? I guess. But you don't need to put it that way. We're just good friends, that's all. Yuri suddenly looks deeply into my eyes. Her expression is gentle and curious, as if she was searching for something. Embarrassed, I avert my gaze. Sometimes, a person's mysteries are untold even to themselves. And you, as someone honest and caring, may uncover feelings you weren't aware were in you. That is... I think that she would be a very fortunate person to have you feel that way about her. Yuri, you're giving me too much credit. I'm a pretty simple guy, so I think I'm pretty good at understanding my own feelings. So I'm not nearly as sophisticated as you. That's not a compliment, is it? It is what it is. Anyway, as long as we're here, why don't we do some reading? Well, as long as you're okay with it. Yeah. I should be taking my mind off this whole thing anyway. Okay, everyone! After some time passes, Monica calls out to the club room. Why don't we share our poems now? Before I know it, everything is back to normal. Everyone goes to retrieve their poems, and I do the same. I make eye contact with Monica, and she smiles at me. I wonder what she was talking about with Sayori. Let's go ahead and go with Yuri. Cerberus, your writing has only improved in these last few days. Every poem you've shown me has been nothing short of spectacular. I can really feel the emotions. I'm a little envious, even. I don't think it ever came to me this naturally. Yuri, that's the wrong way to put it. This never did come naturally to me. But I've been able to improve so much thanks to you. You're really the example I was chasing after. Is that so? Yuri gently smiles to herself. This feeling. I'm so glad I got the chance to share my writing. I never thought it would feel like this. I remember you mentioning that yesterday. I can't believe that you're so good at something and you've never even shared it with anyone. It's kind of a shame. Maybe, but it's not like I really had a choice. What do you mean? Well, Yuri smiles sadly. Cerberus, during lunchtime, I eat by myself. Did you know that? It's a great time to find a quiet spot and do some reading. In fact, I always have some books with me. You could say I really enjoy reading. Well, that's one way to put it anyway. But books are so full of amazing and inspiring people. People you want to fall in love with. Or people you just know would make you a really good friend. Or people you just know would make a really good friend. Cheerful people who always put a smile on your face. Or deep thinkers and problem solvers who discover the mysteries of life. So when you look at it that way, I'm surrounded by friends every day. You know? And those friends don't laugh at me. They don't tease me for spacing out all the time. They don't make fun of my body type. And they don't hate me for acting like a know-it-all. People say that about you? I'm not a know-it-all, Cerberus. It's the opposite. I don't know anything. I don't know how to talk to people. I don't know how to make people see me as normal. I don't even know how to make myself happy. I have all these feelings, and all I can do with them is read and write. But it wasn't until now that I started sharing it with you that I really understood what was missing all this time. But I haven't really done anything. No, that's wrong. Just being patient and respectful. That's really important to me. I know I'm a difficult person, Cerberus. I speak too slowly. I second-guess myself all the time. I read too deeply into things. But every time, you've always treated me like anyone else. It's so rare that I feel comfortable with myself when I talk to others. But that's why every time I talk to you, I just feel really happy. I see. Well, I treat you how you deserve to be treated, Yuri. And if other people don't see it that way, then screw them. I mean, I joined this club hoping I would make friends. And I would say I've had at least one success. Wouldn't you? If you put it that way, yeah. We really are friends now, aren't we? Yuri puts her head in her hands. But this time she's smiling as she does it. Do you want to show me your poem? Yeah, I do. Let me get it for you. Okay. Ghost Under the Light, Part 2. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. In the distance, a blue-green light flickers. A love figure crosses its path, a silhouette obstructing the eerie glow. My heart pounds, the silhouette grows. Closer, closer. I open my umbrella, casting a shadow to shield me from visibility. But I am too late. He steps into the streetlight. I gasp and drop my umbrella. The light flickers. My heart pounds. He raises his arm. Time stops. The only indication of movement is the amber light flickering against his outstretched arm. The flickering light is in rhythm with the pounding of my heart, teasing me for succumbing to this forbidden emotion. Have you ever heard of a ghost feeling warmth before? Giving up on understanding. I laugh. Understanding is overrated. I touch his hand. The flickering stops. Ghosts are blue-green. My heart is amber. Finishing the poem, I start to hand it back to Yuri. But instead of taking it from me, she looks away. Do you dislike it? No, of course not. I just don't really know how I should respond. Despite Yuri's poems actually being cryptic, it wasn't hard to figure out what this one was about. I don't know if I'll be able to explain this one. That's fine. I understand this one. Yuri's having an even harder time speaking than usual. Does this one mean a lot to you? Yuri nods. I'm not really good with words, but I'm happy that you shared it with me. So, thank you. And I hope we keep spending time together. Despite my inability to make eye contact, I see a faint smile emerge on Yuri's lips. I once again try to hand the poem back to her, but instead Yuri gently takes my hands and pushes them back toward me. I hesitate in response to her warm touch. You can, the poem is... Once again, Yuri fails to form a complete sentence. You mean I can keep it? Yuri nods. I'd love to. Again, Yuri faintly smiles as if she doesn't want me to notice. You always make me feel nice. I know I'm not good with people, but I hope that I can return the favor sometimes. Yeah. Don't worry. I think you do a good job. Yuri finally turns back toward me. I guess we should move on before Monica says something. But I'm sure we can talk again later. Yeah, I'm sure we will. With that, Yuri timidly smiles at me, and I return to my seat so I can put her poem away. Alright. Next Monica. Hi, Cerberus. Have you thought about what you want to submit to perform at the festival? Well, being in this club is one thing, but performing in front of a bunch of people... I'll have to give it some more thought. Okay, no pressure. But whatever you do, I'm sure it'll turn out great. I don't know why that was so difficult. It would also make me happy to see. Haha. Anyway, let's take a look at today's poem. Sure. I let Monica take the poem I'm holding in my hands. Your style's gotten so refined, Cerberus. Yuri's been teaching you a lot of things, hasn't she? Well, I guess so. Yeah. I've been noticing how much time you spend with her. I think I've heard her say more words these past couple days than she's talked in the whole year. Not sure how you did it, but that's pretty impressive. Well, she just needs some patience and a way to talk about all the things in her head, I guess. I'm still getting the hang of it myself. You're certainly putting in a lot of effort. You must really like her. Huh? That's... It's awfully suspicious, you know? Spending time with her in the club room every day. Reading that edgy novel with her. Well, I just feel bad that she has a hard time socializing. It makes me want to make sure she doesn't spend all her time alone. Besides, the novel isn't too bad either, you know? Alright. I get you. Just be careful, alright? I know that Yuri isn't used to opening herself up. So if something bad happens while she's vulnerable, then it could be really hard for her. Her books aren't a total escape from reality. They're just a bandage. You say that like I'm going to hurt her. Sorry, I didn't really mean it like that. If anything, she might accidentally hurt herself. Anyway, I'll share my poem with you now, alright? Alright. The Lady Who Knows Everything. An old tale tells of a lady who wanders Earth, The lady who knows everything. A beautiful lady who has found every answer, all meaning, all purpose, and all that was ever sought. And here I am, a feather, lost adrift the sky, victim of the currents of the wind. Day after day, I search. I search with little hope, knowing legends don't exist. But when all else has failed me, when all others have turned away, the legend is all that remains. The last dim star glimmering in the twilight sky, until one day, the wind ceases to blow. I fall, and I fall and fall, and fall even more, gentle as a feather, and a dry quill expressionless. But a hand catches me between the thumb and forefinger, the hand of a beautiful lady. I look at her eyes and find no end to her gaze. The lady who knows everything knows what I am thinking. Before I can speak, she responds in a hollow voice. I have found every answer, all of which amount to nothing. There is no meaning, there is no purpose, and we seek only the impossible. I am not your legend. Your legend does not exist. And with a breath, she blows me back afloat, and I pick up a gust of wind. You know, I feel like learning and looking for answers are the sorts of things that give life meaning. Not to get too philosophical or anything, but it was kind of on my mind, so that's what I wrote about. I see. I never really put much thought into it. In a way, it's almost paradoxical. Because if we had all the answers, wouldn't the world start to lose its meaning? You know, there is one thing I noticed. It seems like everyone in the club prefers writing about things that are more sad than happy. Are you surprised? I mean, if everything was okay, we wouldn't really have anything to write about, would we? Humans aren't two-dimensional creatures. I think you'd know that better than anyone. You mean one-dimensional? Yeah, that. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Are you ever too shy to share your writing because you're afraid it's not that good? It can be really disheartening to get a lukewarm response to something you put so much into. But if you find other people who enjoy writing, then sharing becomes a lot easier. Because instead of just telling you that your writing is good or okay or bad, they'll want to focus more on everything that went into it and the things you can work on. It's much more encouraging that way, and it will make you want to continue improving. It's almost like having your own little literature club, don't you think? That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening. Let's go ahead and do Sayori. It's nice, I guess. Come on, I can already tell you don't like it. Well, you don't need to worry about what I think. After all, you wrote this for someone else, didn't you? Probably Yuri. Eh? I didn't write this for anyone specifically. Maybe. That's not really what I meant, though. But it's okay. You're making new friends, just like I was hoping. That makes me really happy. And you're happy too, right? In this club? Well, of course I am. Good. That's all that matters to me. Thank you, Cerberus. Sayori, is there something wrong? Huh? No, nothing. I'm just a little tired today. Hehehe. Alright. Just tell me if you need anything. I will. Don't worry about me, okay? You can go play with everyone else now. If you insist. Yay! I'm gonna go home a little bit early today. Oh, God. Oh, wait, no. Sayori? Tell Monica I wasn't feeling well, okay? I'll see you tomorrow. Before I can say anything else, Sayori cheerfully walks out of the classroom, humming to herself. Oof. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Alright, last is Natsuki. Yeah, no thanks. Eh? You didn't even... Next. Wow, Natsuki. Okay, you three. We're all done sharing poems, right? Why don't we start figuring out... Hold on a second. Is it just me, or did you say something strange just now? Eh? Something did sound a bit unusual. That's right. You deviated from your usual catchphrase when addressing the club. Catchphrase? I don't have a catchphrase. Jeez. Why is the mood so weird today? Look, even Yuri isn't immune to it. Stagnating air is common foreshadowing that something terrible is about to happen. In your books, maybe. Look, the only thing different is that Sayori isn't here. Ah, it seems you're right. Sayori always helps lighten the mood a little bit, doesn't she? It's almost like everyone's balance is thrown off a little when she's not around. Where the heck did she run off to, anyway? I thought she just went to pee. Natsuki, please show some decency. Oh, come on! She actually wasn't feeling too well and went home early. Is that so? I hope she's alright. Seriously? Of all the times to not go home with her, you pick the time she's not feeling well? So much for you two being all lovey-dovey. No! First of all, stop misunderstanding my friendship with Sayori. And second, she's kind of been avoiding me today, so I didn't want to force it. Oh? That curious expression coming from Yuri, of all people. Calm down, guys. I talked to her earlier, and everything is fine. What did she say? Anyway, we need to figure out the rest of the festival preparations, so let's decide what everyone will be doing this weekend. I already know what I'm doing. That's right. Natsuki will be making cupcakes. But we might need a lot of them, and different flavors. Can you handle that all by yourself, Natsuki? Challenge accepted. And as for myself, I'm going to be printing and assembling all the poetry pamphlets. Sayori will be helping me design them. And as for Yuri, you can... Guys, can you help me come up with something for Yuri? I'm useless. No! That's not it at all. You're the most talented person here, you know? Now Natsuki's pouting too. Or now Natsuki's pouting too? Jesus. I get inflections all wrong sometimes. Jeez. Even I can tell now. I guess I never gave Sayori enough credit, but I can tell things are even harder on you when she's not around. That may be the case. But if I can also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. Or, if I can't also be a leader on my own, then I won't grow as a person. So, Yuri, you have a beautiful handwriting, you know? So you should make some banners and decorations to help set the atmosphere. Atmosphere? About that. I love atmosphere. Yuri's expression suddenly changes as she stares at her desk in focus and starts nodding to herself. Your mind is already racing, I see. That's great. You'll be a wonderful help, Yuri. But anyway, that just leaves you, Cerberus. The one who's truly useless. Don't say that. In fact, both Natsuki and Yuri have some pretty heavy tasks to handle. It would probably go a long way to give one of them a hand. You could always help me out as well. I would be really appreciative of that. Is Monica suggesting I spend the weekend with one of my club members? How on earth are they going to respond to a suggestion like that? I suppose I wouldn't mind a bit of help. Well, even if you don't know how to bake, there's always some dirty work I could give to you. It's not like Monica's going to give me a choice, and you shouldn't be sitting on your butt anyway. Natsuki tries to mumble a bunch of excuses like that. If I recall, Natsuki, You mentioned that you would like to handle the baking on your own. Cerberus may not like to be around you if you only make him out to be a nuisance. So therefore, he may be more suited to assisting with the decorations. Hold on, I never said that! How hard could it be to make a few decorations anyway? Sounds more like you're just making excuses for Cerberus to... What are you saying? What are you saying? It will be extremely meticulous work. And baking isn't? Just what do you think? Guys, let's settle down for a moment. In the end, I think it's up to Cerberus to decide how he'd like to contribute. Yeah. I almost read that wrong again. Besides, he hasn't really gotten the chance to spend any time with me yet, you know? So I'm sure he's interested in... You literally just said... I'm surprised as well. Sorry. I was just saying, though. Jeez. Can we just settle this already? Yeah. Cerberus, you're okay with this, right? In the end, it's up to you. Ah. Of course. Very well. In that case, everyone looks straight at me. But of course, I'm going to go with... Let's just do Yuri, because we're already trying for her route. Well, I'll probably most be useful helping out Yuri. Me? Are you serious? Why would you... Natsuki! I can already tell you're about to say something mean. No. I was just saying... Ugh. So you'll be helping Yuri then, Cerberus? Yeah. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm glad. I have a bad habit of overthinking these sorts of things. So I think your assistance will be very useful. That's great to hear. Natsuki, will you be able to handle the baking yourself? I mean, yeah. I already said I would be fine. Okay. Everyone can tell that Natsuki is feeling a little sour. She's been sour this entire time! What are you talking about? So, is that everything we needed to go over? Yeah, that should be about it. Are you guys excited? Well, excited may not be the right word, but I suppose I'm looking forward to it a little bit. Do you feel the same way, Cerberus? Me? I guess you could say I'm interested to see how it'll turn out. That's good enough for me. What about you, Natsuki? Natsuki? What? Why is everyone yelling at me? I didn't even do anything. No. That's not what I meant at all. Yuri anxiously glances between everyone in the room. I'm sorry for this. I don't really know why Cerberus picked me. And also, your cupcakes are the best cupcakes I've ever had. They go really well with my tea. And nothing that I do for the event will compare to that, so... I get it. I'm kinda surprised, though. Why? Well, I'm the one acting immature. I already know that. But you're trying to cheer me up all of a sudden. I know, I'm not very good at it. I'm sorry if I said something bad. Natsuki isn't the only one surprised. Monica and I are also taken aback by Yuri's words. She already has trouble with words. Trying to cheer someone up must be far out of her own comfort zone. But I begin to understand. Yuri was trying to sound like Sayori. Even if it didn't work perfectly, I can tell that she tried to say something Sayori would say at a time like this. Because Sayori always helps everyone smile and feel good about themselves. No. I kinda appreciated it. I'm sorry for making a big deal out of nothing. But I'm going to say this. You better bet that my cupcakes are going to be the best part of the whole event. I believe you. Yeah. I hope to see everyone do their best. But with that, there's nothing more for today. So I guess it's time for us to head out. Alright, let's get out of here then. Everyone packs up their things. I start to follow Monica and Natsuki out the door as they chat between each other. Eh? I turn around. Sorry. I realize that I don't have any way of contacting you this weekend. Oh, you're right. I can't believe that slipped my mind. Should I give you my phone number? I think that would be the best way, yes. Alright then. Yuri and I exchange phone numbers. Okay. Then I'll be stopping by your house on Sunday. Eh? My house? Is that a problem? No, not at all. I just thought that I would be the one going to your house since I'm the one helping you. I suppose that makes sense. But if you don't mind, I think I would prefer going to your house. Alright. In that case, it won't be a problem. I decide not to press Yuri for a reason. It's not like it should matter much either way, so I'll just need to make sure that my room is clean. I hope I manage to make myself useful in some way. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. I'm not nearly as creative as you are. Don't underestimate yourself, Cerberus. I think that will make a very productive team. Even if you only chose me because you felt bad or something. Wait. You don't actually think that, do you? I don't know. It's difficult to come up with any other reason you may have chosen me. You're forgetting the one reason with the most common sense. I chose to help you because that's what I want to do. But Yuri thinks to herself with an extremely tense expression. Yuri, you're overthinking this. You wanted me to point out when you're overthinking, right? Huh? I didn't realize. I'm telling you, I want to. That's all there is to it. Do you believe me? Yuri thinks really hard again. She looks straight into my eyes for a long while. I believe you. As if it took her tremendous effort, Yuri finally says that and relaxes her expression. And I'm really looking forward to Sunday. Yeah, I am too. How funny is it that I kind of knew what the MC was going to say before the actual dialogue box came up? Like, I literally thought what the MC was going to say next, word for word, in my mind. And every bit of it came up. After that exchange, I make my way out the door, and Yuri follows. I can't believe this. Yuri's going to be coming to my house on Sunday? My anxiety shoots through the roof. Even though I've gotten pretty used to handling her at this point. There's no telling what might end up happening when we're outside of school. More than that, she told me that she was looking forward to it. Is this the chance I have to make something happen between us? Or is it too early for that? Only time will tell. But until then, I won't be able to take my mind off of it. I seriously can't wait. It's already Sunday. I've been getting increasingly anxious about Yuri's upcoming visit. I keep telling myself there's no reason to be nervous, but it doesn't help much. Yuri is clearly an introvert and also has an intimate person in general. There's no doubt that she'll come open up a little bit when it... Hold on. There's no doubt that she'll open up a little bit when it's just the two of us. Meanwhile, we've been texting occasionally. She was extremely apprehensive at first, but it wasn't long before I was already learning more about her. But putting Yuri aside, I haven't heard a thing from Sayori since she left club early the other day. It's not like we text each other all the time or anything. but I've been worried about her in the back of my mind. Between what Sayori said and what Monica said, is it really okay for me to put Sayori's feelings aside when she might need me? See, if this were me, I really wouldn't think so. I would go check up on Sayori right, like, as soon as I leave. Like, if I were actually in this club, I would, after it finishes, like, after the literature club finished for the day on Friday, I would automatically, like, checking up on Sayori would be the first thing on my to-do list after the literature club is done. Like, there's no question about it. I decide to visit Sayori before Yuri comes over. Rather than asking, I simply tell her I'm coming over, much like we've done in the past. Once I reach Sayori's house, I knock on the door before entering myself. Again, we used to play so often that we've made it a habit of simply entering each other's houses like we were family. The house is quiet. Sayori isn't anywhere on the first floor, so I assume she's up in her room. Oh, God. It's already strange of her not to run down and greet me. I head up to her bedroom where I finally find her. Sayori? Hi, Cerberus. I sit down in her room. Sayori forces a smile, but it's easy to tell that she's different. There's a minute of silence between us. You haven't come over like this in a long time, have you? I guess you're right. It has been a long time. Not much has really changed, has it? Sayori's room is as messy as it's always been. I also recognize the same stuffed animals and wall decorations that she's had for years now. If you came over more often, it wouldn't be such a mess. That's because I end up cleaning it for you. How come you suddenly wanted to come over today? Aren't you supposed to see Yuri today? Yeah, but... Wait, how did you know that? Sayori had already left by the time we decided that last meeting. Monica told me. It's only natural for her to keep me informed about the festival preparations, right? Ah, that's true. But what about you? Aren't you going to be helping Monica today? Of course. But I'm just helping her online. We didn't plan to meet up or anything. Ah, so it's just me and Yuri then. Yep. There's more silence between us. Sayori stares in a random direction. Everything about her behavior is really uncharacteristic. I finally get to the point. I just wanted to see how you were doing after you left on Friday. When something's wrong with you, you can't hide it from me. I know you too well. So, Sayori smiles, shaking her head. That's no good, Cerberus. Huh? Why can't it just be like it's always been? This is all my fault. If I didn't get so weak and accidentally express my feelings, if I didn't make that stupid mistake, then you wouldn't have been worried about me at all. You wouldn't have come here. You wouldn't have been thinking about me right now. But this is just my punishment, isn't it? I'm getting punished for being so selfish. I think that's why the world decided to have you come over today. It just wants to torture me. Hehehe. Sayori! I grab Sayori by the shoulders. What on earth are you saying? Are you listening to yourself right now? I know something happened to you. There's no other explanation for you to be like this. So tell me already. Until I know, I won't be able to stop thinking about it. Ha ha ha. Sayori gives me an empty smile. You really put me in a trap, Cerberus. But you're wrong. Nothing happened to me. I've always been like this. You're just seeing it for the first time. Seeing what? What are you talking about, Sayori? Hehehe. You're really just going to make me say it, aren't you, Cerberus? I guess I have no choice this time. The thing is, I've had really bad depression my whole life. Did you know that? Why do you think I'm late to school every day? Because most days I can't even find a reason to get out of bed. What reason is there to do anything when I fully know how worthless I am? Why go to school? Why eat? Why make friends? Why make other people put their energy and caring to waste by having them spend it on me? That's what it feels like. And that's why I just want to make everyone happy, without anyone worrying about me. I'm in shock. I can't even figure out how to respond. How is it possible that Sayori kept this from me the entire time I've known her? Did she really want so badly for me to just not think about her? Why, Sayori? Eh? Why is it that you've never told me about this? It almost feels like I've been betrayed as your closest friend. Because if I knew, I would have done everything I could to support you. Even if there's only so much that I could do. I would have tried a little bit harder to make every day a little better for you. That's why I'm your friend. All you had to do was tell me. You don't understand at all, Cerberus. Why do you think I didn't tell you? Because if I told you, then you would have had to waste effort caring about me instead of doing important things. I don't want to be cared about. It's bittersweet when people try to care about me. It feels nice sometimes, but it also feels like a bat being swung against my head. Ahaha. That's why I wanted so badly for you to make friends with everyone else. Helping everyone be happy together is the best thing for me. But then I discovered something else too. Seeing you make friends and get closer with everyone in the club, it feels like a spear going through my heart. So that's why. That's why I decided the world just wants to torture me. Every path leads to nothing but hurt. Ahaha. You're right that I don't understand. I don't understand your feelings at all, Sayori. But I don't need to understand. Whatever it takes for me to help you, stop hurting. Whatever it takes for me to help you stop hurting. That's what I'll do. No, Cerberus. There's nothing. Nothing at all. The only thing that could have helped is if everything could be like it always was. But I was selfish. I finally showed you what a horrible person I am. Tears streaked down Sayori's face. I made you join the literature club because I was selfish. And I was punished by my heart hurting in a way that I couldn't understand. And now you came here and I made you hurt too. I'm just weak and selfish. That's all I am. And that's why I'm going to accept these punishments. Because I deserve every last one. Without thinking, I once again grab Sayori's shoulders. This time I pull her into a tight embrace. Cerberus! Sayori. I don't care if you feel selfish. I'm really happy that you convinced me to join the club. Seeing you every day makes it worthwhile enough. If I make friends with everyone else, then that's just a bonus. But please, never underestimate how much I care about you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Cerberus. Sayori isn't hugging me back. Despite my arms being wrapped around her, Sayori's arms remain at her sides. She starts sobbing next to my ear. No! Don't do this to me. Please, don't do this. Cerberus. Sayori barely manages to speak between her sobs. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing, but all I want is for her to know that I care. If you have it in you to call yourself selfish, then you have to let me be selfish too. No matter what it takes, I'll figure out what needs to change. I'll make these feelings go away. And if there's anything that you need me to do, then you'd better tell me. I'll get mad if you don't. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Gently, Sayori finally puts her arms around me in return. I don't know anything. It's all really scary. I don't understand any of my feelings, Cerberus. The only time I'm not feeling nothing is when I'm feeling pain. But your hugs are so warm. And that's really scary too. Sayori lets me go. As she does so, I let her go as well. The festival's tomorrow. Yeah. It's going to be fun, right? Yeah. How do you like for me to spend it all with you? It's what I want. I promise. I think that would be nice then. Yeah. Sayori wipes her eyes. If I could spend the whole day here, I would. Of all days, this has to be the one where I have other plans. Maybe I should cancel. No, don't. Please don't. If you did that, then I really wouldn't forgive you. But it's almost time for Yuri to meet me at my house. At the very least, do you want to come along and help out? It would be fun. To my surprise, Sayori shakes her head. I'm sorry. I don't know if that would be very good for me today. You understand, right? It's kind of hard for me to fully understand. But I'm trying my hardest. It's okay. Don't worry too much about it. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? Alright. I look forward to it. I say goodbye to Sayori and exit her house. On the way home, I find myself still feeling uneasy. But it's hard for me to keep thinking about it when Yuri is about to come over too. I think Sayori's right. I shouldn't be worrying too much, and we're definitely going to have a great time tomorrow. I should just focus on what's ahead of me. Don't let your guard down, MC. As I approach my house, I see something that makes me feel a moment of panic. Yuri? Thank goodness. You're a little bit early. Sorry I wasn't home yet. Were you waiting for a long time? No, I just got here. But I started to get really nervous when nobody answered the doorbell. You always could have texted me. If I had known, I would have reassured you and hurried more on my way home. I suppose it's true. I didn't think of that for some reason. It should be common sense to do that, but I decided to ignore it. Anyway, let's go inside. I see you brought a lot of stuff with you. That's right. And did you manage to find everything I asked you to buy as well? Yeah, pretty much. At least, I hope I got everything, right? I'm sure it'll be fine. I take Yuri to my room. The first thing she does is glance around curiously, which makes me feel anxious. It's so clean. Haha. I cleaned it before you came over, so... That's very considerate of you to do. No. I would be really embarrassed for my room to be a mess while you were here. Well, I do enjoy cleaning. I would have gladly helped you clean. That would be even more embarrassing. Wait, don't look in there. I snatched Yuri's wrist, which was in the process of opening a desk drawer of mine. I'm sorry. I wasn't thinking for some reason. I was just spacing out. It's fine, it's fine. I let go of Yuri's wrist. She puts both of her hands firmly in her lap, as if making sure she's keeping track of them. So, should we get started? Yes. I have a few things planned that you can help with. Decorations and other atmospheric enhancements. Atmospheric enhancements? You know. Mood lighting. Aromatherapy candles. Oh, wow. I didn't know you planned on taking it that far. Of course. I want to help take our guests to a faraway place. Although many will stop by just out of curiosity. And for cupcakes, I guess. I'm determined to provide an experience that will leave them wanting more. That's great. It's easy to forget that you're a pretty intense person. Intense? I guess that's the best way to put it. Is that a bad thing? No, not at all. It's something that I like about you, actually. Is that so? That makes me feel relieved. And kind of happy. Yeah. No need to be so anxious. You can relax a little. Relax. I brought some things for relaxation. I was going to use them during the poetry event. Oh yeah? Like what? Let's see. Yuri rummages through her bag. She pulls out a few candles and a wooden cylinder-shaped object. I did some shopping on the way here, so I happen to have these in my bag. I plan to cover the windows in black paper and use the candles to light the room. I think that would be amazing, don't you? Yeah, that would be really neat. What's that wooden thing, though? Oh, this? It's a diffuser for essential oils. How familiar are you with aromatherapy? Not familiar at all. Ah, is that so? It's one of my favorite contributors to a positive atmosphere. Depending on the oils or herbs you choose, you can change the mood of the air itself. You can even feel it permeate through your body. Relaxation, positive energy, romance, reflection. It's almost like magic. Yuri takes cylinder and pushes a switch on the bottom. In just a moment, a thin ray of vapor begins to spout through a small hole on the top. Wow, that smells wonderful. What kind of mood is that one for? This is a jasmine essential oil. It smells a little sweet and flowery, right? Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. I chose jasmine for the event because it provides more than relaxation. Jasmine enhances your emotions and helps you feel them flow through your body. You feel warmer and your heart pounds more heavily. Don't you think that will be perfect for sharing our poems? It does sound suitable. But you seem to know a lot about this, so I'll trust your opinion with anything. Yuri smiles gently, clearly enjoying herself. She again reaches into her bag and pulls out several spools of thin ribbon. What are those for? Well, did you purchase the origami paper I asked you to get? Yeah, I have it over here. We won't be using the paper for folding origami. What I'd like to do is write a different kanji character on each paper. We'll need about 100 of them. Oh yeah? What will those be used for? Well, I'm going to cut pieces of ribbon to hang from the doorway of the classroom. Then we can fasten the kanji paper onto the ribbons to create a doorway curtain. Wouldn't that be beautiful? It would also catch the eye of those passing by the room. It may attract some to peek inside. That's really creative. I had no idea you'd be so good at this, Yuri. Is that so? Well, I suppose I do get a little intense, as you put it. Yuri giggles with red cheeks. It's just me? Or is she more relaxed when it's just the two of us? Or maybe it's the excitement she feels from sharing something that she enjoys. Here's a marker, Cerberus. You can write any characters you want. I'll help you once I finish cutting the ribbons. Ah, alright. Sitting on the floor together, the two of us get to work. I can carefully draw a different character on each paper, doing my best to manage my bad handwriting. Yuri unravels a long strand of red ribbon to her desired length. Then, she reaches into her bag once more and pulls out a pocket knife. Huh? The knife is strangely beautiful. The silver handle has an intricate pattern of waves etched into it. The blade itself is gently tinted blue. That's no ordinary pocket knife. Looks really fancy. Ah, well, embarrassed, Yuri looks away. What is it? You're going to think it's weird. Yuri, whatever it is, I have no reason to judge. To each their own, you know? If you promise you won't be weirded out. Yeah, I promise. Alright. The thing is, I'm kind of into knives. They're just so pretty. I can't help it. I don't know what it is. The combination of craftsmanship and feeling of danger, maybe. What am I saying? Please don't think I'm weird for this. Haha. You're laughing at me. No, I'm not laughing at you. It's just funny how nervous you got about sharing. It's an interesting thing to be into, I guess. But I think it kind of suits you. Suits me? Yeah, it's kind of intense. Hahaha. Besides, it's a really cool looking knife. I can't deny that. It is, isn't it? Yuri relaxes her expression once again. Would you like to hold it? Sure, I'll check it out. Yuri carefully hands me the knife with the handle facing me. I take it and turn it around in my hands. It feels heavy and extremely solid. Where do you even get a knife like this? Curious of its sharpness, I feel the point of the knife with my index finger. Ow! Cerberus! Why did you do that? I didn't expect it to be that sharp. I barely touched it at all. It's my fault. I should have warned you. His knife is extremely sharp. It can cut through skin like it's paper. Oh no. A small drop of blood trickles down the side of my finger. Yuri takes my hand and gives the wound a closer look. Ah. She stares at it and noticeably fidgets. If you're squeamish, I'll go wash it off now. Ah! Without warning, Yuri puts my finger in her mouth and licks the wound. Oof. Feel her tongue curl around my finger. Oh my god. Startled, I instinctively pull my hand back. Oh. Please forgive me. I wasn't thinking. Yuri lowers her head, her face burning up. Yuri. It's the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. How could I do something like that? I'm sorry. Sure it was a little weird, and it took me by surprise. But I guess she was just trying to help, right? Yuri, I think you're overreacting a little. She doesn't lift her head. What if she doesn't recover from this for the rest of the afternoon? Alright, you know what? This might be a stupid thing to do, but I do it anyway. I take Yuri's hand and lick her index finger in return. Cerberus! Did you really just do that? Now we're even. Yuri just looks at me like I did something wrong. I knew that would be a bad idea. But we went for it anyway. Not for the sweet aroma of the jasmine oil, the air would be extremely heavy right now. You're so weird, Cerberus. Yuri giggles shyly. Huh? Yuri calling me weird? I have no response to that. Where do you keep your bandages? I don't think I need one, actually. It was a tiny cut. Look, it already stopped bleeding. I see. That's relieving. The tension is quickly lifted. We each resume our respective activities. I watch Yuri's knife cut through the ribbon like it's nothing but air. Meanwhile, I continue to make progress on the kanji. After we finish attaching the paper to the ribbons, we lay them all out side by side. Looks better than I expected and will be very effective as a door curtain. It looks great. Good thinking coming up with this, Yuri. Thanks. It's just something I saw online, really. Are you ready to move on to the next task? Yeah, let's do it. What do you have in mind? I'd like to create a banner. That's why I asked you to buy the paint tablets. Ah, that's right. One of the items Yuri had asked me to buy was a kit of watercolor paint tablets. We'll need about 6 cups of water to put each of the tablets in. Do you mind fetching those for us? Of course not. 6 cups of water. I'll be right back in a minute. Thank you very much. Oh, and just a little bit of water is okay. If you fill the cups up too much, it will be too diluted. Taking Yuri's advice, I decided to use small plastic bathroom cups rather than full-sized glasses. I put them on a plate to catch any paint that drips, then bring it back into my room. Yuri? Yes? I come in to see Yuri quickly unrolling her sleeve, pulling it back over her arm. Nothing. Your face is a little red. Is it too hot in here or anything? No, not at all. There's nothing wrong, so let's mix the paint. Yuri hurriedly dismisses me and takes it upon herself to unwrap the tablets, dropping them into the cups. So... So, how long have we been streaming for? An hour and a half. Wow. So, I thought we would do something simple that would look very nice. I'd like to paint a gradient across the banner, starting with the colors for a sunrise, then daytime, then sunset and nighttime. Once it dries, I'll write an inspirational quote across the banner. We can hang it on the wall behind the podium at the front of the classroom. Ah, neat. What are you going to write? Well, it would be more fun to surprise you. Yuri smiles at me. If you say so. After rolling out the banner, Yuri and I kneel on opposite sides so we don't get in the way of each other. Yuri uses a brush and adds a few dots of different colors across the banner to serve as a color guide when we paint. This kind of reminds me of elementary school. Painting on a banner with watercolors feels a lot like the art class projects we had back then. It's relaxing. Ah, I'm sorry if this feels too childish. No, I didn't mean that at all. It's kind of fun, you know? Yeah, it is fun. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm glad you feel that way too. I almost read that as MC. Yuri stops painting for a moment, thinking to herself. For me, I don't need to go out and do crazy things to have fun. In fact, I usually don't even want to. I just like when I can spend time with one other person, even if it's something simple like reading. It doesn't even matter if we don't talk much. Just having a friend next to me makes things feel a little bit nicer. I think that's all it takes for me to be happy. Is that so? Even if Yuri and I are quite different, I can understand where she's coming from. I feel that way about things like anime and games, where simply sharing the experience with someone can make me happy. I think I feel the same way. Yuri smiles gently. I knew you'd understand. Yuri leans over the banner to grab an unused paintbrush. But I move at the same time, causing my head to bump into hers. Yeah. Sorry. Yuri reels back, and I quickly lift my hands in surprise. Are you hurt? No, I'm not hurt. You just startled me, that's all. Sorry, I should have asked you to get it for me. It's not your fault. Ah, your face. There are droplets of paint on Yuri's face and neck. Is there something on my face? Yeah, I accidentally got paint on you. Sorry, it's totally my fault. I'll get a towel right away. I rush out and fetch a small towel, then I dampen it with hot water. Return to my room and kneel back down in front of her. Here. I pat down Yuri's face and neck with a towel. Is something wrong? It's hot. I just didn't expect that. I just didn't expect it. Sorry. I didn't want to use cold water. Having finished, I start to retract my hand. But Yuri suddenly holds my wrist. Wait. Huh? Just for a little longer. It feels really nice. Ah. I keep my hand still against Yuri's neck. She looks into my eyes. It's an intense expression that I recognize from when she reads her books. Almost as if she's lost in a daze, enveloped by her own thoughts. She breathes gently, half through slightly parted lips. What is happening? Is it the aroma of the jasmine oil giving me this dizzy feeling? Yuri's gentle fingers wrapped around my wrist send a tingling sensation through my arm. And suddenly her face seems to be much closer to mine than it was just a moment ago. Yuri slowly pulls away. Sorry. I've been feeling a little lightheaded today. I didn't mean to space out. It's fine. The moment is over as soon as it began. Yuri picks up her brush again, but her movement seems clumsier. Like she's unable to focus. I remain silent, forced to ignore the event that just transpired. I hesitantly retrieve my own brush and continue following Yuri's example. That should do it. I finished filling the night sky with white dots that looks like stars. Looking at the banner as a whole, it's very pretty and unnatural looking. I think it came out better than I expected. I'm really happy with the results. Yeah, me too. Are you going to add the lettering now? Ah, not yet. It needs to dry first. That's true, but won't that take a while? Well, perhaps it would be best to leave it here. Then have you bring it in the morning. I can do the lettering in the classroom before our event starts. Is that okay? That's totally fine. Wonderful. In that case, I don't think there's anything more for us to do here. Phew. Hahaha. You say that like you're glad it's over. Was I wrong to assume that you were at least enjoying yourself a little bit? Ah, no, it's not that. I'm just glad that we managed to get everything done. I see. I am too. I was a little concerned about time. I need to start making dinner soon. Ah. So you don't have any time left? I was secretly hoping we would have extra time after finishing the work. Well, Yuri thinks to herself. I think it would be too irresponsible of me to wait much longer. I'm sorry. I was hoping there would be more time as well. It's probably my fault. Sorry for being such a slow worker. No, it's not your fault at all. And the important thing is that we got everything done, right? Yeah. So, I shouldn't be disappointed or anything. Gathering all her things, Yuri seems to look a little downcast. I understand why. Sounded like she rarely gets the opportunity to spend time with friends in a relaxed environment. But that doesn't mean this is the last time it can happen. Once Yuri packs up, I walk her out the front door. Thank you very much for having me today. No problem. I'm glad I was able to help. So let me know if there's anything else you need me to bring tomorrow. I will. Well then, Yuri fidgets. I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Wait. I kind of say that without thinking. About today. It's fine that we didn't have as much time as we wanted, because we can do this again. Whenever you want, you can come over, or we can go out somewhere. Ah, I forgot you don't like going out much. As I stumble over my words, Yuri simply smiles bashfully. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say, so... You're very thoughtful, Cerberus. Yuri takes a step closer to me, then briefly squeezes my hand. I kind of like that about you. Well, how am I supposed to respond to that? But I don't even get a chance to, as Yuri suddenly pulls back. Monica? Huh? Ah. Don't let me get in the way. Monica? Sayori said she was just helping online. I changed my mind and decided to come over. Anyways, just now we weren't... Oh, I know. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me. I won't say a word. I was just on my way to Sayori's. Our work for the festival won't get itself done. Especially if I'm not online. Well, it's nice to see you. I'm sorry, but I'm already on my way to leave. Aw, really? That's too bad. It's been a while since it's been just us girls. I'm sorry. But we'll all be together at the festival tomorrow, so... That's fine, right? Of course. Yeah, so... I'll see you tomorrow. Clearly embarrassed, Yuri hurries off. Monica waves goodbye after her. Not Sayori, She's already told you what she's going through, right? I try to open my mouth, but nothing comes out. I was about to ask how she knew, but it's likely that Sayori's told Monica about things. They seem like close friends after all. Don't worry about it. What? Or what? If you're going to go after someone or something, don't do it half-heartedly. So don't worry. I'll take care of things so you can focus on what's ahead of you. Monica gives me an enigmatic laugh. Even if you try to save everyone, you can only do it one at a time, huh? I guess even you have your limits. Or maybe that's how you wanted things. But it hardly matters. I'll handle what you can't. It's not like I have much to do anyways. Monica! I don't really know what to say, but thanks. Hehehe. Alright. See you tomorrow at the festival, Cerberus. With that, Monica gives a wave as she goes towards Sayori's house. Alright. I guess I better go rest for the festival tomorrow. Finally, the day of the festival has arrived. I take a moment to let it all sink in on the way to school. I was finally involved in something. A real school festival. Maybe I can finally do some... Hey! Cerberus! The moment it shattered, I see Sayori practically bouncing off the pavement with a huge spring in her step. Her smile could have lit up half the street. It was relieving to see that Sayori was indeed doing alright. Come on, Cerberus! Where's your enthusiasm? Today's the big day! Her happiness is infectious. I can't help but crack a smile. Hey, I'm plenty excited. I just don't jump as much as you do. Sayori simply opts to stick her tongue out in response. She bounds off towards school, clearly not letting me slow her down. I found myself smiling still, despite technically being left behind. It's always nice to see Sayori in such a bubbly mood. As I trek to school, my mind resumes its wandering. I think back to when I joined the club, which feels much longer ago than it actually was. Think about all my fellow club members. Sayori, Natsuki, Monica. My mind lingers on Yuri. The time we spent reading together, the moments we shared. We even worked together for this festival over the weekend. It hits me just how much I had enjoyed spending time with her. She was so quiet, and yet, when she got passionate about something, it was endearing. Plus, she's cute. Heh. I chuckle with a goofy grin on my face, feeling a bit silly at my own musings. As I near the school, my head swims with the possibilities of the day and the festival ahead. The school is already abuzz with activity when I arrive. Other students are scrambling around, frantically trying to set up the stands of their respective clubs. Thankfully, it looked like we had the room to ourselves for the literature club. All the better for showing off the decorations Yuri and I had poured all that hard work into. As soon as I enter the classroom, I am greeted by Sayori bounding up to me. Her expression contains a curious mix of bubbly excitement and mock annoyance. In the way I imagine only Sayori could conjure, she almost immediately lays into me. Come on, Cerberus, you're the last one here. We've all been waiting for you for ages. Looking past her, it seems I was indeed the last to arrive. Natsuki glares at me, no doubt judging me. Monica wears her usual smile and gives a little wave. Yuri fidgets with some small decorations, avoiding my gaze. A brief flicker of fear fills me with theories on why she wouldn't possibly want to look at me, but I swiftly assure myself I was just overthinking something stupid. I return my attention to Sayori. What? You couldn't start the work without me? I raise an eyebrow. Honestly, we all got here not too long ago. We just thought it'd be funny to tease you a little bit about being the last one to show up. Where's your festival spirit, Cerberus? Come on, come help us. She dashes back across the classroom, so fast she can't hear my retaliatory grumbling. Well, someone has to be the last to show up anyway, right? I shrug and make my way to where the rest of the girls were standing. We all were gathered around a group of desks, pushed together to hold everything we had brought for the festival. Natsuki had baked an impressive amount of cupcakes, and their bright design was certainly tantalizing. She catches me surveying the sweets and shoots me a look that says, I'll bite your hand off if you bite into one of those. Monica begins the proceedings with a cheerful smile. Okay, everyone, now that we all are here, we can go over our plans for today. Is everyone ready to show the school why the literature club is worth joining? We meet her call to action with a resounding yeah, alongside raised fists. Even Yuri, not normally one to raise her voice, had let out a rousing cheer. I too can feel myself catching the festival fever, the excitement of this morning returning in full force. Here I am, a representative of the club I had grown to enjoy, surrounded by people I could call my friends. It's a nice feeling. I have no doubts that the others felt something similar given their enthusiasm. Monica claps her hands together to signal the imminent rundown. Now then, we have a lot to do. First things first. Is everyone ready to give their poem performance later today? I gulp. I had prepared as well as I could, of course, but the thought of it all is still nerve-wracking. The other girls give an affirmative nod, and I soon realize that they are looking at me expectantly. I had gotten a bit lost in worrying about my poem. I find myself unconsciously looking to Yuri for support. I notice a bit of a flustered blush by this time, but this time she holds eye contact with me. If she could overcome her quiet disposition to perform in front of people, I could get over my nerves. I turn to Monica and give a thumbs up. Absolutely. Excellent. Now then, Yuri, Cerberus, I need you two to take care of your decorations. They look wonderful, and I'm sure you two will know best how to arrange them to liven up the room. Yuri and I give Monica a simultaneous nod of acknowledgement. Natsuki, you can handle the cupcake station. Sayori, you can be with me closer to the door. We'll answer any questions people have about the club as they come by. This time, Sayori and Natsuki nod. With the positions agreed upon, we all break off to our respective duties. Yuri and I gather the decorations on the desk and set about filling the walls with our handiwork. The process reminds me of an assembly line, or Yuri does, rather. With measured, precise movements, she finds the best spot for each decoration. It was clear that she had thought of these arrangements ahead of time. Comparatively, I work at a snail's pace, unsure of what looked best where. Unlike Yuri, I lack an eye for this sort of thing. Yuri seems almost in a trance while working. Gone were her normally timid movements, replaced by an impressive assuredness. The work is largely silent. On one hand, I want to talk to Yuri more, but on the other hand, I would hate to break her concentration. I decide to take the risk. Hey, Yuri? The unexpected verbal probing catches the poor girl off guard. She gives a small start and drops the decoration she was pinning to the wall. I had broken her out of a hypnosis. I feel bad initially, but she seems to relax a bit when she realizes it was just a friendly question and turns to me. Oh, sorry, Cerberus. I was just so caught up in work. She pauses a bit to pick up the decoration she had dropped. What is it, Cerberus? I was just wondering how you felt about your poem performance today. Well, I practiced it a whole lot this weekend. I just hope everybody likes the poem I selected. It might be kind of weird, even outlandish. I'm sure it'll be great. Anyone who can't see the beauty and quality of your poems isn't worth worrying about. I give a genuine smile to assure her further. She reddens a little at the compliment, but returns the smile sheepishly. I decide at this moment that this sight alone made it worth taking the risk. Thank you, Cerberus. Really, that means a lot to me. Is your poem preparation going well? The worry creeps back into a lump in my throat. I sure hope so. Practiced a lot, and I like to think I did all I could to prepare, but the doubt never really goes away with this sort of thing, does it? Haha, I suppose not. I'm sure you'll also do well. You've made a lot of progress since joining the club. Her warm smile is eminently reassuring. We'll both have to put our best foot forward. Absolutely. We both nod and resume decorating, reinvigorated after the impromptu pep talk. Conversation ultimately wasn't much, but it had me glowing for a good while. Eventually, the room was properly decorated. I'd like to think I helped a little bit, but Yuri ended up doing most of it. I mainly held the larger things in place for her as she attached them to the wall. I held a handful of them so she didn't have to go back and forth, that sort of thing. Regardless, the room looks much livelier with everything pinned up. I feel a sense of pride as I survey the room, noticing how the decorations that Yuri and I had made really pull the room together. Satisfied with our work, we opted to help the other club members with their stations as the students began to roll in from the festival. The day whirled by. A surprising number of students stopped by, curious about the literature club, or at least about Natsuki's charming cupcakes. I couldn't really blame anyone stopping in just for the pastries. They were amazing. Eventually, Monika steps up to the front of the room to call everyone to attention. Hello, everyone. We hope you are enjoying everything the literature club has to offer at this festival. God. Hello, everyone. We hope you are enjoying everything that the literature club has to offer at this festival. We will now have our special event, a poetry recital from our very own club members. Isn't that exciting? I doubt that many of the meandering students were terribly interested in poetry, but they are taken in by Monika's charisma and enthusiastically clap regardless. Great! Each of our members, including yours truly, has prepared a special poem to recite to you all. Please give them your undivided attention as they perform. Sayori, if you could start us off, please. It occurs to me that I was never told the order that we would be presenting our poems. I just hope I wouldn't have to go directly after a stunning poem until I realized that all of them were likely to be better than mine. Oh well. Thus the girls performed their poems to the crowd that had gathered in the literature club room. Sayori is charming and lighthearted, leaving the audience in adoration. Natsuki is deceptively simple but still well received. And Monika draws in the audience with her performance. She's definitely stolen the show so far, which is unfortunate for me as I'm next up. That was going to be a tough act to follow. I take my place at the front, the other club members seated before me and among the other students who had stayed thus far, and I perform my poem. A couple stumbles here and there, but I think it was solid overall, for my level anyway. I get a modest round of applause to validate my efforts, but the smiles from my friends in the literature club really solidify it. Satisfied, I take my seat as Yuri gets up to take her turn. I give her an encouraging nod as she stands to face the audience. Without much delay, she begins her performance. I had seen instances of it before, but it still amazes me how Yuri changes in moments like these, where she is truly in her element. Gone were the students and pauses in her normal speech, replaced by flowing elegance. God! Her poem is starkly different from the ones previous, being much more somber and enigmatic. I sit enraptured by the contrast in Yuri's spellbinding execution. Yuri finishes her poem. The audience is silent at first, and I could hardly blame them with how stunned I myself feel. I'm the fastest to recover as I stand up and begin clapping, the other club members soon following suit, then the rest of the audience. Even a standing ovation didn't cut it in my opinion, but it is the least we could offer. Monika motions to me, Sayori, and Natsuki to join her at the front of the classroom and take a bow. After all the applause dies down, she addresses the attendees. Thank you all for stopping by to see us. We hope you enjoyed what the Literature Club has to offer, and we hope just as much that you will all consider joining us. She ends with another bow. Much of the audience takes this as their cue to go check out the other clubs, some grabbing a cupcake on their way out. Our club venture is safely classified as a success. I muse aloud to the girls of the club. You know, I bet none of the other clubs had something as awesome as this. Would you like to go confirm that? Monika's offer surprises me. Huh? But don't you need... I think we can handle things here. That was our main event, after all. And I doubt we'll have much more traffic this late in the day. I quick glance at the clock, makes me realize how quickly time had flown by. There is indeed not much time left before the end of the festival. In fact, I bet Yuri would enjoy seeing what else is going on too, don't you think? She deserves it after that wonderful performance. The rest of us can handle the stragglers and the cleanup. Monika looks at us all expectantly for a response. Yuri and I are both caught wildly off guard and mentally scramble for a response. Sayori doesn't skip a beat. She grins mischievously at me. God. I think that's a great idea, Monika. The two were working so hard all day with those decorations, after all. They can go relax together. Natsuki in sharp contrast rolls her eyes. It's not any work to bake and bring all these cupcakes, but fine, I guess. I can almost taste the bitterness she exuded. I've never seen that word before, exuded, but I appreciate the blessings nonetheless. I study Monica's expression to see if I could make sense of this proposition, but I find nothing further I could discern from her usual smile. Well, I wasn't going to complain at any rate. Monica claps her hands together, looking pleased with herself. She turns to me. It's settled, then. You and Yuri can set off to explore the rest of the festival together while we clean up. I hope you enjoy yourselves. I feel like my brain ceases to function for a minute. I stand stupefied by this outcome as I try to process what happened. Did Monica really just set me up with Yuri? Did she plan this? I'm snapped out of my thoughts by Yuri, who had come up beside me. I think it'll be fun. You don't mind accompanying me, do you? Oh no, not at all. No, why would I? I can tell my flustered state only amuses Monica further. I am torn between wanting to thank her and wanting to become invisible. Yuri and I make it to the doorway of the classroom before she stops and turns to me. Is she blushing? What's up? I would hate to lose you in these crowded halls. Huh? They don't seem that I stop myself as I look down and realize Yuri's stretching out her hand, blushing furiously and avoiding eye contact. I'm pretty sure I can make it out. I'm pretty sure I can make out what sounds like Sayori's giggling in the background at my ineptitude. Oh god. Sayori, now is not the time for this. Of course, Yuri and I had our close moments before, but this, well, I can't afford to think too long here. I gingerly take her hand in mine. You're right. This way, we won't get separated. We set off together to explore the festivities with a friendly wave from Monica. Yuri and I return to a clubroom that is empty, much to our surprise. The festival was over and we had come back expecting to help everyone finish cleaning up, but it looks like the majority of the work has already been finished. Had everyone else gone home already? I catch sight of a note laying on a nearby desk. I pick it up and it's from Monica? I look back at Yuri, who seems just as surprised as I am. With a shrug, I read the note aloud. Dear Yuri and Cerberus, we hope that you two were able to enjoy your afternoon together. Don't worry about us. We just all had things we needed to take care of at home. Sorry to leave on such short notice. P.S. While you're here, if you don't mind taking down your decorations. So, was this just Monica getting us to help clean up in the end, anyway? Well, I don't mind. It's the least we can do after getting to enjoy the festival. Yeah, fair enough. We do owe them after today. Yuri nods in agreement and immediately sets about removing the decorations. Figures that she wouldn't want to waste time, but there's more I want to talk to her about. I take my place next to her and assist in taking down the decorations, which is thankfully simpler than putting them up. Hey, Yuri, The rest of the sentence gets caught in my throat. Yuri turns towards me with an inquisitive look on her face. Moments pass as I try and compose myself and articulate exactly what I want to say. My stomach churns from the nerves, but nothing concrete is coming. I find it hard to maintain eye contact. Cerberus? I had a lot of fun today with you. Yuri smiles, but seems slightly flustered by the compliment. Oh, I had a lot of fun today with you as well. Thank you for... Her face takes on a shade of crimson. For accompanying me. I can feel the color on my face mimicking hers. Anytime, that's the best I can do. Come on, there's more I want to say. Dang it. Say, Yuri, why do I have to be tripping on my words now? Yuri gazes soft but attentive. She's waiting for me to finish. I think back on earlier today, the chance we got to spend time together. I only now realize its magnitude. The strikingly timid Yuri, of all people. She asked me to hold her hand. Sure, it felt like we were set up by the rest of the club, but it still takes immense courage to follow through. I I can't imagine how straining that must have been for Yuri to put herself out there like that. I owe her at least that much in return. I take a deep breath. I'd like to spend more time with you, as more than... Yuri takes me by surprise and interjects before I can finish. I would love that, Cerberus. I'm caught speechless. I expect her to say more, but given her furious blushing, I hazard a guess she's facing the same verbal roadblocks I am. If she does that mean... Before I realize, I break into a smile, partly out of disbelief. She matches my smile. Ba-thump! My heartbeat is racing. Draw closer, as if on instinct. We say nothing, and yet fall into each other's embrace. Time stands still in this moment. Everything feels right just for a second. The only thing in the world that matters is the two of us. Ba-thump! I don't know how long we held the hug, but that wasn't important. We begrudgingly broke from each other's arms and faced the other once more. Another moment of silence. But it doesn't feel awkward. We understand each other. Nothing more needs to be said. It's already evening as I head home. Normally I would be annoyed at walking home so late, but after today, there's no way I can be upset. I run through a checklist of what happened today, so to reaffirm I'm not dreaming. I helped out at the festival, got to spend a lot of time with Yuri, and in the classroom, we shared something that it meant a lot to both of us. Had to say our goodbyes before it got too late, but everything about today is still setting in for me. I feel my phone buzz. A text from Yuri. Thank you for today. Yep, it really was a great day. Thank you as well. See you tomorrow. I return home without issue and attempt to sleep. Everything kept replaying in my head, giddy excitement filling me every time. I don't know how long it took me to finally drift off, but sleep did not come easily. It's the day after the festival. Honestly, I barely remember how or when I fell asleep, but I somehow dragged myself back to school. I think the lesson is chemistry, huh? I could get away with sleeping for just a little bit. Thwick. Something just hit my head, I think. Takes a moment for me to locate the offending object lying next to the leg of my chair. Crumpled paper. Amazing. I unwrap the note, squinting to make out the scrawl. Meet me outside after class. That's it? Really? Well, I'm tempted to toss it back in their general direction. Something keeps me holding it. I have the feeling it shouldn't be ignored. Technically, I'm missing literature club for a dumb note. Then again, after what happened at the festival, I should probably sort through my own feelings before seeing her again. Some 5-10 minutes later, a scruffy-looking upperclassman arrives. Hey, you actually showed up. What's that supposed to mean? Well, how many times do people actually listen to notes that randomly hit them in the back of the head? Well, I was curious, so tell me, why'd you bring me here? The guy puts on a diplomatic silence, like he's trying to make some kind of deal. There's no easy way for me to say this, but... You shouldn't be dating Yuri. Huh? Wait, what do you mean? I mean, aside from the fact that we aren't even... He raises his hands in an I know gesture. Look, I'm just saying it would be in your best interest to not get caught up with her. People saw you at the festival and, well... He shrugs. Over Yuri, literally anybody's a better choice. I know this will sound harsh, but there have been, incidents. Yeah, incidents. Incidents? I'm trying to be helpful. Steer clear of her. That's all I say. Oof. Let's make this into a save. Let's go with you're a coward. I just can't keep quiet. You're a coward, you know that? He blinks, caught way off guard. Excuse me? I stare at him eye to eye. I don't need you or even want you to tell me who I can or can't be with. And to think that you'd try and do this all behind her back. I don't want any of what you're selling. I sling my bag over my shoulder, leaving him slack-jawed. My mind races. Why would he care about us? What did Yuri ever do? Who the heck does he think he is? I should get going. I'll probably be able to catch some part of the rest of the literature club. Not sure how I'm going to face Yuri after this, but I'll cross that bridge when I get to it. I slide open the literature club door and walk inside. Natsuki struts in beside me, a bulky magazine folded up under her arm. I should ask her about Yuri. Despite their vitriol, they do seem to have been tolerating each other a little better lately. Wouldn't hurt to ask if Natsuki has heard anything, even if it's unlikely for her to know about what happened. Hey, Natsuki, can I talk to you outside for a second? Sarah and Monica both give me looks of confusion, but I shake my head slightly as I duck outside. A few seconds later, Natsuki walks out into the hall as well. Jeez, what the heck is this about? Natsuki abruptly stops, seeing the expression on my face. You look kind of worried. What's wrong? I don't bother being coy. I tell her everything. Some guy took me aside after class. Said I should keep away from Yuri. For my own sake, actually. What's that even about? How could anyone say that about her? Natsuki chews on her bottom lip, staring at some point on the floor. I guess you finally heard, Cerberus. Rumors about Yuri show up from time to time, yeah. But you know that's all they are, right? Just rumors. You don't know anything about you don't know anything else about it then? What are the rumors about anyway? The guy who mentioned them was pretty vague. It shouldn't matter what the rumors are, Cerberus. Like, I've gone to school long enough to know that rumors never end up being true anyway. Why should it be different for you? They're not super widespread rumors anyway. If they were, I guess Monica probably would have heard about it and done something by now. Maybe she already tried and it didn't work, but you get my point, right? Yuri probably wouldn't want you to get involved with those rumors anyway. Natsuki raises her eyes to look at me. She really likes you, you know. I feel myself turning a little pink. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe. Okay, everyone. It's time to share poems. Natsuki huffs, straightening her blazer before walking off to retrieve her poem. I should probably go get mine as well. I came, I saw, I shared poems. And Yuri wasn't even there. Oh, crap. Hey, Cerberus? I glance over at Sayori. She has her head bowed, kicking absent-mindedly at the gravel in our path. I might be being nosy, but what were you talking with Natsuki about? Oh, so that's it. We never really discussed it, and I thought she'd just forgotten. I never seemed to give her enough credit, I guess. Cerberus? Well, I think you know about Yuri and I, right? Sayori nods, looking me over tentatively. Yeah? Well, it's like, there have been rumors. Rumors? I mean, somebody told me to stay away from Yuri. Sayori seems to have the same reaction I did, confused and worried. That's mean. I know, but what can I do? He didn't tell me the why of it. Sayori gives me a tiny nod. I figured Natsuki might know about why she's so insulated, but she beat around the bush too. Do you know? I don't. Sorry, Cerberus. I reach over and prod her cheek, causing her to yelp. Don't worry about it. It's my problem to deal with, okay? Sayori shakes her head, hefting her backpack. Cerberus. Yeah? I need you to understand that I'm here for you. We're here for you. I know. But do you? I feel like you're only holding back because you don't trust us. Sayori peers at me, her bubbly personality replaced by a serious demeanor. Well, if you have ideas, I'm welcome to hear them. Sayori nods, pushing the tips of her fingers together. Well, why don't you invite her out? Then you can talk about it there. I was planning to, yeah. She claps her hands together, nodding. That should work. Just make sure you take her someplace nice. Nice? Well, you can't just take her anywhere, you know. Yeah, I know. Sayori skips to a stop in front of my house. You better make a good impression. I'll be watching. I give a small laugh, waving. Keep me honest, okay? Sayori doesn't answer back. A bookstore, that should be easy enough, right? Unless you're me, who spent what should have been my sleeping hours searching up their prime location for what might technically be our first date, in which case it feels more like pulling out your own tooth. I'm sure she'll love it. Sayori grins, skipping alongside me as we head up to school. She was the one who helped me put this together, so she might have a point. And she's known her longer too. Ah! Sayori comes to an abrupt halt, eyes wide. While I'm looking around for whatever caused the reaction, she nudges me forward. It's Yuri. This is your chance. It is indeed Yuri, leaning on the street corner. Waiting for me? Maybe? I can only hope. I brush the front of my blazer mouth, suddenly gone dry. I brush the front of my blazer, mouth suddenly gone dry. Sayori nudges me forward. Go on. This is what you planned, isn't it? I stumbled forward, rehearsing a greeting as Yuri turns to me. Wow. We say at the same time. I could sink it to the ground now, I would. At the very least, Yuri looks just as embarrassed. Sayori told me you passed this way. I glance quickly over my shoulder. The woman in question has already fled the scene, just as well, I guess. Well, here I am now, at least. Do you want to get going? Yuri nods quickly, and we quickly fall in step next to one another. I clear my throat nervously. Did you have fun at the festival? It was the first time I had actually helped a club set their booth up. Yuri nods. A smile spreading across her face. I did. It was very heartening to see students enjoy our poetry. You mean your poetry, right? Yuri turns visibly pink. That's not true. Your poems at the least give me inspiration. I laugh, which makes her turn to me, a pout on her face. I just write words and hope they stick. That was entirely you, and it was really good. Well, thank you. We keep walking in silence, but it's more of a cozy one than an awkward one. As we approach the school gates, I slow to a stop. And one more thing. Oh? You're still okay with our first date after school? Oh, yes, definitely. Yuri perks up, suddenly on edge. Okay, that's great. Meet back here? Yuri nods quickly, grinning still. I should head to class soon. Right. She strolls off, leaving me to get to my own class. I know right now I won't be able to concentrate on schooling. Win some, lose some, I guess. In the end, it didn't take much more than Yuri and I are on a date to excuse us from literature club and for Yuri to turn an interesting shade of burgundy. Oh my god. You didn't have to do that, Cerberus. Well, yeah, but I didn't want to just buzz off without any warning. Yuri nods, smiling faintly. Anyway, the bookstore is really close. You might have already been there, actually. Well, maybe, but not accompanied. Smile in spite of myself, nudging her with my shoulder. Or I smile in spite of myself, nudging her with my shoulder. I'm very prone to messing these lines up. I don't know why. First time for everything, right? Yuri and I walk into the bookstore I picked for our first date. Anxiety swells throughout my body as I'm afraid of the possibility that this won't go well. Luckily, there's a noticeably small amount of people currently in this store, making it a great location for a date. At least, that's what I hope. So, here we are. Yuri looks over at me, struggling to make eye contact. Yes, we are. She looks about as nervous as I am, if not more. Man, what do I even do here? People go to bookstores to shop for books, right? But where do I even start? Guess it'd be easy enough to browse through and see if anything looks interesting. You like horror, right, Yuri? Yuri peeks over at me again and nods her head. That is correct. I do enjoy horror. Would you like to look through the horror aisle, then? The nervous expression on Yuri's face returns. Only if you want to. I don't think Yuri completely got what I was driving at, but it doesn't matter. Make our way to the horror aisle of books, and I freeze up once we do. Man, now what? I know nothing about books. Yuri's basically an expert, so what am I supposed to do that won't make me look like an idiot? For now, I glance through the various titles. If nothing else, at least I can admire the well-drawn cover art. Have you found a book you're interested in, Cerberus? Yuri catches me off guard, and I make a small jump backwards. Ah! I was just eyeing. I grab the nearest book next to me, not taking enough time to actually check what it is. At the Mountains of Madness? Yeah, I mean, the cover art looks pretty cool, I think. Empty, snowy landscape makes you feel a little bit of dread, I see. See? God. Well, that doesn't quite mean the book itself is spectacular, but the front cover does make an impression. You think so? Yes. It's interesting how the cover art for a book can be the most iconic thing about it, even if the writing is subpar. I still feel a bit lost about how to interpret books and writing and all that, but Yuri seems like she knows what she's talking about as usual. I think I'll buy this one then. Is there anything you're interested in here, Yuri? Well, I go to this bookstore all the time, and there doesn't appear to be any new stock, so... Yuri looks away frustrated. I should have told you I always go here so you could have picked a different location. Can't even go without ruining our first date. Yuri's face falls even further. No, it's not ruined. Location isn't what matters. I still enjoy being with you, even though I know nothing about books. Really? Yuri perks up a bit. Yeah. I'm on this date to spend time with you. Sure, it's unfortunate that I picked a bookstore where there's no books you haven't already passed on, but who cares? It's not going to stop me from appreciating being with you. We even talked earlier about how this might happen, that I was fully prepared for it. Besides, I never even told you the specific location of where our date would be anyway. You have no reason to blame yourself. Well, if that's how you feel, thank you, Cerberus. I'm enjoying being with you as well. Awkward silence fills the air. Now what? Well, we both stare at the ground. Let's sit down. Once I buy this, I mean. After quickly purchasing the book, we move to a nearby table and sit down next to each other. Should we read together then? Should we read together again then? Maybe later, but I wanted to talk for a bit first. I see, that's understandable. So, how have you been? I've been well enough. Awkward silence from before returns with a vengeance. Yuri lays her head down on the table, resting on top of her crossed arms. What am I supposed to do, Cerberus? I have no idea how dates are supposed to work. All I'm doing is wasting your time. No, not at all. Like I said, just being next to you is great. Words aren't always everything. Yuri seems a bit calmer after that comment. I suppose so. I decided to change the subject. So, I know you're into poetry, but have you ever tried writing your own book? Well, I've dabbled in writing fiction, I suppose. But publishing a book would require me to share my work, and, well, nobody would want to read that. Come on, Yuri, I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. It's true, though. Please, your poetry is incredible, so I bet that if you tried writing a full-fledged book, it would be amazing. I'm not sure if you can make that comparison that easily. Writing poetry is much different than writing a traditional story. dealing with a narrative structure, having to develop interesting characters, and all the other facets of that type of writing. It's a huge undertaking, and is difficult for reasons other than why writing well-done poetry is difficult. I bet you'd be disappointed if you read any of my attempts at a novel. I doubt that. Maybe we could read your work sometime together. If you really want to, maybe one day. A smile tugged at the corners of Yuri's lips. Anyway, how about that book I just bought? Let's see what it's like. Yes, let's. Yuri and I read the book for a few hours, stopping about halfway through. What do you think of it? My impressions? It's hard to judge without having read the full story, but I'm enjoying it so far. Yeah, I'm not an expert on what good horror is like, but I had fun reading it. I think this Lovecraft guy had a dark mind. It was pretty creepy, which I guess fits considering the genre, but this has kind of been a new experience to me. Having you right next to me made it a lot more comfortable, though. Yuri's cheeks quickly reddened. Thank you. We should read the rest of this sometime. I would like that. I've really enjoyed this date, Yuri. That's right. I had forgotten that this was a date. I've enjoyed it as well. We looked into each other's eyes until Yuri recoils from nervousness. Sorry, I'm still getting used to this. It's fine, Yuri. We can go as slow or as fast as you like. You must really like me, don't you? To be able to tolerate my company and actually enjoy going to a bookstore with me? There's not many people like that. I'm thankful that you feel the way you do, how you do about me. Hey, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there who would be honored to be in a relationship with you. I'm honestly shocked that you even like me, in a good way, of course. Less people than you think, Cerberus. A lot less. Yuri seems to be saddened from this conversation. I have to find a way to salvage it. Well, you've got me now, right? And the rest of the literature club, too. Regardless of how many people like you, what's important is that there are people who do like you. What more do you need? I suppose that's one way to put it. Yuri seems slightly happier after hearing that, chuckling softly to herself. I'd love to spend more time with you today, but it's going to be evening soon, isn't it? We should probably get ready to leave now. Disappointment flits across Yuri's face. True, I wish we could be together for longer, but I guess this is how it is. Yeah, sadly so. We hold hands together as we leave the store. As we talk, though, I noticed a certain someone on the sidewalk. That guy, he's from my school, isn't he? The one who warned me off? As I stop to look over at him, he spots us. A small smirk spreads over his face as we simultaneously recognize one another. Cerberus? I look away and begin walking again. Sorry, it's nothing. Yeah, it would make sense to see him around town every once in a while, I think. Why did this time feel so ominous? A premonition? Maybe the smirk? Yeah, that was sort of creepy. Not that it matters, I guess. And wasn't I supposed to talk about the rumors going on with Yuri? I guess I'll just have to wait until next time. It's been a week or so since my last date with Yuri. I had planned to talk to her about the rumors I had heard about before, but couldn't muster up the courage to do so. I feel like it's a heavy topic, and I don't want to screw it up. Nothing particularly bad has come up as a result of those rumors, though. As much as I'd love to live in blissful ignorance forever, I'm going to have to talk to Yuri about it sooner or later. So I guess I may as well get it over with. Groggily getting out of bed, I check my phone to see a text from Yuri sent a few minutes ago. Good morning, Cerberus. At least Yuri still trusts me. I sort of feel bad about that. All the better to get this out in the open. Once I'm done texting her back, I get ready for school and then head off. Once my classes are over, I head over to the literature club, anxiety continuing to build up in the pit of my stomach. As per usual, I spot Yuri reading a book at a desk. Monica and Sayori both try greeting me, but it goes in one ear and out the other as I pace over to Yuri. Hey. Yuri turns and notices me. She quickly closes the book she's reading. Her finger caught between the pages she was reading as a pseudo bookmark. Ah, hello, Cerberus. I apologize for not noticing you as you came in. It's fine, don't worry about it. There was something I wanted to talk to you about, though. A vaguely nervous look crosses Yuri's face. See, there's, how do I even word this? Basically, there's, I'm a stuttering mess right now. Take your time, Cerberus. Managed to blurt out what's on my mind. There's been rumors about us. What? Way to go. This guy was one of my classmates. He came up to me. He said something about there's being incidents involving you and that I shouldn't get caught up with you. I know it's not true. Yeah, it's definitely not true. But what are we going to do, Yuri? You know how rumors go. They keep getting worse and worse until, you know. A melancholic look passes over her face. Yuri? This was a bad idea from the start, wasn't it? I knew that all I would do is cause problems for you. I'm sorry, Cerberus. This was all a mistake. I noticed Monica hesitantly coming over. Is everything okay over here? I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but perhaps you'd want to do this outside of the club room. I mean, you don't have to take my suggestion, but are you alright? We're fine, Monica. Just please let us figure this out ourselves. Monica nods silently, going back and guiding Natsuki and Sayori to the far side of the classroom. I really just don't want to end up dragging anyone else into this. Cerberus, Look, Yuri, the rumors don't seem to have gotten too bad. If they did, we'd probably be hearing more of them, right? Not necessarily true, but it's what I'm going with for now. First, we need to calm down. How about we just go out someplace after school? Yuri still seems frightened. Are you sure? Yeah, it'll be a great way to take our minds off of all of this. Because if we do decide we want to do something about the rumors, then we should make sure we're calm first, right? I suppose that might take off a bit of stress. If you absolutely think this will work, then I can oblige. We can leave right after school, even. We'll go to a park or something. That sounds fine, right? I say that, but I think I'm just anxious as Yuri is. I don't even know if going on a date will work, but I have to try. I say that, but I think... Uh-oh. I read that line. Once literature club is over, Yuri and I get up together and walk outside the school. We have each other. I know for a fact that we'll be fine in the end. A gentle breeze blows past. Sun shines through the clouds, warming the air to just the right temperature. There's nobody here but us. Nobody but us to enjoy a perfect date at a park. This is a pretty nice place, huh, Yuri? I turn to Yuri sitting next to me on a bench. Yes, this location is quite nice. It's incredibly peaceful as well. Yeah, the real highlight is getting to spend time with you, though. I motioned for Yuri to scoot closer to me. Really? Are you sure that's okay? Of course. We're on a date after all. I suppose that's true. Yuri slowly scoots over to me as I put my arm around her. This is great, isn't it? Or at least good, if nothing else. This is nice, I'll admit. That's what I thought. I feel kind of bad that I didn't pick this spot for our first date, but whatever. The fact that you're considerate enough to feel remorse for even small things like that. My feelings for you keep growing stronger, Cerberus. After saying that, Yuri quickly scoots away. Whoa, you okay, Yuri? That was too forward of me, wasn't it? You must think I'm trying to take things too quickly. I'm so sorry, Cerberus. Not at all, Yuri. I'm perfectly fine with it. I find it romantic, actually. Are you sure? Yes, Yuri, I'm sure. Yuri scoots back little by little. Thank you for not getting upset, Cerberus. You know about those rumors. You know those rumors are false, right? You said you do, but I wouldn't fault you for being mistaken. No rumor's ever going to change how I feel about you, Yuri. Even though I'm not totally sure what those people have in mind, I know that it's not true. I love you, Yuri. That's all that matters. I Thank you, Cerberus. The day slowly progresses. Yuri and I sit idling in the park. Sometimes talk to each other throughout it. But for the most part, we're enjoying the tranquil silence in one another. You know, Yuri, about what you said earlier, I think my feelings for you are getting stronger too. Really? Yuri looks surprised. Yeah, you've got a lot of great qualities. I think it's cool how much passion you have for stuff like poetry. You're flattering me too much, Cerberus. But that's something I like about you too. The way you respect me, no matter how involved I am in my interests. Yuri looks up at me and leans in. I follow suit. My lips are barely inches away from each other. Closer and closer. Kraboom. Dang it. What? It's not supposed to rain until tomorrow. The mood is ruined as the sky splits open in a fit of thunder, dousing us in rain. I take Yuri's hand and make a break for it, pulling her through the streets. We manage to find some shelter, even if it's not much. I should have tried sooner. I'm sorry, Cerberus. No, it's fine. Just not something I expected. The rain pours harder. What do we do now? We could spend some more time at your house. Only if you want to, of course. Yuri's flustered, but I understand what she's saying nonetheless. We can go back to my house, sure. Might as well get up now before the rain gets any worse. I agree. As we dash up to my house, I open my front door and we step in. Much better. Want a seat, Yuri? Seeing as you're offering me one, it'd be rude for me to turn it down. Yuri makes her way over to the living room couch and sits down. As I proceed to sit down next to her, the couch will end up wet, but it's not something that I really care enough to worry about right now. Man, if I had known it was going to rain, I would have brought an umbrella. Yuri shivers. It's fine, you didn't know it was going to rain. I know, but still, you seem pretty cold. Yuri realizes that she's been slightly shaking. I can live with it. I hope I haven't gotten your couch wet. Yuri quickly tries to get up. Hey, it's fine. Sit back down, please. I care more about you than a dumb couch. Yuri is reluctant, but slowly sits down again. Here. Take off my jacket and give it to Yuri. Huh? Wear it. The outside's wet, but the inside is still warm. Are you sure? Yep, that's why I'm giving it to you. I see. Thank you, Cerberus. Can't let my girlfriend freeze to death, can I? Yuri quietly laughs. Even though the rainstorm interrupted our date, isn't the sound of rain incredible? I don't know if I've put too much thought into appreciating it, but it is kind of nice in a way. Yes, the magnificence of the constant droplets, accompanied with the thrashing sounds of lightning. It's truly beautiful. I can see where you're coming from. Huh? Yuri's arms are tightly wrapped around me. You must be cold too, Cerberus. Why don't we warm each other up? You may hate me later for doing this, but I wanted to at least give it a try. I mean, sure, I've got no complaints about this. Wrap my arms around Yuri as well. Things are definitely heating up in some sense, at least. Stay there for about 20 minutes just listening to the rain pour down. Bzzzt. Pocket vibrates with a notification. On instinct, I take my phone out to see that a new email message has been sent to me. Cerberus? It's nothing, just an email. I read it as quickly as I can. But as I scan this email, something is very, very wrong. Subject, freak alert. You guys know how much of a freak Yuri is, right? We've all seen the scars, and we've all seen how she acts, too. She gets turned on from cutting. Wow. Wow. It's a natural progression of the rumors I thought were beneath me, beneath us. Cerberus, here I am now. What do I do? Did the message get sent to Yuri too? The message did get sent to Yuri. The heck am I supposed to do about? The heck am I supposed to do about it? The heck can I do about it? I feel like puking. Screw this. Bzzzt. Get another notification. It's a second email. Hey, Cerberus. Man, this dude is just messed up. My insides tie up into a knot as I hear Yuri's phone vibrate. Bzzzt. Cerberus, what are you doing with my phone? A few swipes and it's gone, as if it never existed. As if. Now I just need to come up with an excuse. Sorry, it was a spam email. Got one with the same title just a minute ago, so I thought that you had been sent the same one. Seems my hunch was right, too. Yuri looks skeptical. Really? Yes, really, I promise, Yuri. It's nothing to worry about. You're absolutely sure? I am. I've already messed up. I'm going to face the consequences of this soon enough. Cerberus? It was nothing important. Plus, if I seriously wanted to pull something with your phone, it would have taken me longer than 3 seconds to do so. You're acting suspicious, Cerberus. I think even you realize that. Let's just move on, okay? There's nothing to get worked up over. So why should we waste any time doing so? But I know I can't do that. I know it's not going to be the same after reading that email. I don't think anything will be the same after reading that email. It's Monday, time to face the music. So far, Yuri hasn't figured out anything about the chain email that's already spread across the school, but it's only a matter of time. I want to expunge this before Yuri ever catches on. I don't even think I can, but I have to try. I couldn't stand to see her face when she realizes. I know exactly how that conversation will go down. My phone buzzes with a text. Yuri. I didn't see you in our usual place. Are you going to school today? I did rush to school today. When I think about it, I slide down into my seat, tapping onto a brief response. Yeah, I need to take care of some business with the teacher before class. Sorry. Alright, I love you, Cerberus. I stuff the phone back into my pocket and exhale softly. I have my plan. Find the source of the email first off. And if my instincts are anything to go on, I know just where to start. Hey. Talking to the guy who warned me about Yuri seems like it could give me a clue or two. Boy seems surprised for a second before he adopts a neutral expression, throwing up a hand. Yo, Cerberus! Hello. Conversation. Could even be called that. Stalls on the ground. Probably knows I'm suspicious. Now he's waiting for me to make the first move. I frown. Have you gotten any strange emails recently? He blinks and shakes his head. Nothing out of the ordinary, my man. Finishing with a shrug, he plays it off so well I doubt my first instincts that it was him. Doubts begin to creep up as I nod quietly, heading to my classroom. After all, there could always be others, and I was running essentially with blinkers on all sides. Could have missed something obvious. Who else had the following but him to swing this? Well, there goes half my day. I raised my head from the desk, having previously just been napping away the time. History's the next class, so I should get my stuff for that. Decided to gather information in the afternoon. I'll be skipping going to the literature club, but I'd argue it's for a good cause. The back door of the classroom slides open, and he steps back inside, followed by a group of his cronies. Try not to be too judgmental. I'm failing. It wasn't all me, actually. Well, of course not. But didn't the guy get on your case? You told us he did, at least. He shrugs, the same dismissive, contemptuous shrug. I mean, I did try to warn him, didn't I? This is just a fun idea I had, you know. Been a while since I've ever seen a good chain email go around. Yeah, that's true. Who knows? Maybe he's into that. No. Fuming, I stand up, stalking over to the huddled mass of boys. Only the blonde one, the one who started this mess, even bothers looking up. Why did I read that as brothers? That's weird. He looks at me and his face shifts into some midpoint of confusion and humor. Yo, Cerberus, how you holding up? I'm not gonna listen any longer. So, then you punched him. The blonde guy snorts, folding his arms. You got the principal on his side, which means anything I say is irrelevant. I did start it, though, so it's only to be expected. I nod quietly. More than once, I should add. According to eyewitnesses, it looked like you were trying to kill him. I frown, staring at the knot of his tie. I'm not apologizing. Stout principal sighs as he takes off his glasses, lacing his fingers together. Can't act about hearsay, but starting a fight is a serious offense. As for you, the principal looks at the boy and continues speaking. You may go. Have the nurse take a look at you if needed. Take some small satisfaction in seeing him wince as he tries to nod. It's childish, but I'll take what I can. Cerberus. Oh, joy. I'm giving you a 2-day suspension. You will need to gather your things and call your family. I give a ragged sigh, nodding back. Yes, sir. And try to keep your temper in check for the next time. I bite the inside of my cheek, stifling a response. Instead, I turn on a heel and walk out. That went about as well as could be expected, really. I stare up from my bed. My phone has been buzzing nonstop for about 5 minutes. No doubt Yuri trying to check in, texting in class. I should scold her. Appreciate the concern, but right now I just need quiet. Just need to figure out how to handle this because I've done something unbelievably stupid. I got so caught up in my own anger, I lost sight of what my actual goal was. I mean, maybe if I'm lucky, the fight I started will give them something else to gossip about. If I know anything about the student body, it'll just get tacked on as extra material to the main story. Eventually, my phone stops buzzing. I turn over onto my side, curling into the sheets on the bed. Sunlight filters through my bedroom window as I drag myself out of bed. It's been 2 days, right? I check the calendar on my phone. Yep, the suspension is over. The gravity of the situation sets in as I will myself to stay awake. God, I actually got suspended. I never imagined. I really hurt someone, all because checked my phone, still nothing, still no message from Yuri. Maybe I should say, no, right, not anymore. I just don't know what to do. Where do I get from here? I demolished my reputation at school. I got suspended. The other club members are probably afraid of me and Yuri. Gah! Wall gains a new dent in it. I shake my clenched fist, recoiling from the pain. Deep breaths, deep breaths. Need to get to school. I don't have time for all this. Just want things to be fixed somehow. But for now, I need to go to school. Make it outside to see Sayori, ready and waiting for me. It's comforting to see that some things never change, at least. Good morning, Cerberus. Morning. I weakly wave, and we start on our way to school like nothing had happened this week. It's the start of the day, and I already feel exhausted. consider asking Sayori about the state of the club, but I don't think I could brace myself for any sort of negative answer. Instead, for a while, I just trudged without a word. Sayori eventually breaks the silence in an attempt to lift the mood. So, what's on your mind? I purse my lips as I consider just how much I actually want to tell her. Nothing much. I lie through my teeth. Hurts to lie like this to Sayori, but worrying about Yuri and my whole situation nearly consumed me. Not to mention it's all my fault anyway. Sayori shouldn't have to worry about me even more. Sayori gives me a quizzical look, no doubt seeing right through me. Are you sure? Yeah, I reconsider what I'm doing. Sayori, she already revealed to me some of her deepest struggles. She had much more substantial issues, and yet she chose to confess to me. Not that I was able to properly support her, and had to rely on Monica helping her instead. Darn it. I feel another pang of guilt, but I shake my head to try and refocus. She can share that much with me. I can at least share my own worries. No, actually. I've been so anxious the past few days about Yuri and about myself after my outburst. I just don't know what to do, Sayori. Sayori frowned momentarily before returning to a softer, more comforting smile. I wouldn't beat yourself up over anything that happened, Cerberus. Maybe we can figure out something at the club later. I'm sure everyone will be more than happy to help out. Right, the literature club. It's nice to know that's still continuing at least. Thank you, Sayori. That sounds nice. We're almost done at school. Soon we'll have to part ways until the afternoon. We're almost at school. Yeah, we're almost at school. We're here already. Well, see you later, Cerberus. I waved goodbye to Sayori as we head to our respective classes. I wonder now where I'd be without a friend to walk to school with every day. With Sayori gone, my thoughts return to worrying about Yuri. She hasn't responded to me in 2 days. Will she even talk to me at the literature club? What will I even say to her when we see each other again? I hadn't even thought about it. Am I just going to screw everything up again? I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I suppose just have to make it through classes today. Time slowed to an excruciating crawl during classes, but the school day is finally over. Take some time outside the club room door to gather myself. I don't know how everything will go down seeing Yuri again, but it's time to find out. I enter the classroom and see several girls perking up at my return. Sayori, Monica, Natsuki. Where's Yuri? These are the first words I say upon my return to the literature club. I don't even give a chance for conversation. Everyone else, even Sayori, looks bewildered at my outburst. They all glance nervously between each other. We thought you would know. She hasn't been here since your suspension. We assumed that you... Monica trails off. As she sees me in shock, I feel my stomach drop into a massive pit. It occurs to me that I had neglected to actually tell Sayori that Yuri and I haven't actually been communicating. I collapse into a desk and start to feel numb. I put my head in my hands and no one has heard from Yuri for 2 days. Is she okay? Or even is she? Is she... Cerberus, snap out of it. I look up bewildered to find it was Natsuki of all people yelling at me. Come on, man. You're gonna give up that easily? I'm still too stunned by everything to form a proper response. Monica and Sayori keep quiet. Natsuki softens a bit. Sorry. I probably shouldn't have shouted. I guess I've been anxious as well. Natsuki takes a seat at a desk next to me. I just don't know what to do. I thought Yuri had at least been in contact with the club. I shake my head and pull out my phone, aimlessly navigating menus as I weigh my options. Do I try reaching out again, or... No. I'm caught off guard by Natsuki once again. I don't think you should. Knowing Yuri, I think she's better left on her own for this sort of thing, at least for now. Really? Yeah, I know you're worried, but I don't think trying again to reach her would do anything good. It might stress her out even more, honestly. Think about Yuri's habit of considering herself an inconvenience. Maybe Natsuki's right. Oh, another save point, huh? phone back in my pocket. Yeah, you're right, Natsuki. Thanks. Natsuki gives a thumbs up. Let's just wait a day and see if things change tomorrow. That sound good? I nod in agreement. Great. Monica takes the conversation ending as her cue. Okay, everyone. Perhaps a bit of an unconventional meeting, but I think it turned out fine for today. Monica comes through with her unshakable leadership once again. But I can't help but wonder what'll happen to the club's mood tomorrow if Yuri still isn't back. Should we wrap up then? Everyone nods in agreement as we soon head our separate ways. I think I made the right choice, but I'm still anxious. It's never enjoyable to just wait. Please, Yuri, get back to me at some point. Whenever you're ready, I just hope that's soon. I just need to hold out until then. It's the next day. All the members of the literature club are present. Sans Yuri. Palpable heaviness hangs in the air. No one is in much of a mood to talk. I have still heard nothing from Yuri, from the looks of the others. None of them have either. Monica tries to dispel the crushing silence. She tries to put on her trademark smile and harmonious tone. So, does everyone have any poems to share today? Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki just stares at her desk with a scowl. Monica looks to me, but I certainly don't have anything to offer either. I can muster no effort to conceal the brooding worry on my face. The wind leaves Monica's sails. I see. The subsequent pause is short but heavy. In that case, I suppose we should adjourn early today. Any objections? Still no one can find any words. I guess that's all then. Hope everyone has a wonderful afternoon. If anyone needs anything, you're always welcome to talk to me. One last attempt at a comforting smile. Monica takes her leave. Yuri soon follows suit, unable to hide a worried glance toward me as she leaves. If anything, I appreciate how Monica tried her best to continue the club despite the atmosphere, but that can only do so much. Natsuki pulls me aside before I could leave as well. Well, still nothing. Natsuki sighs. Okay, if anything, I'm glad you didn't go after her. I think you made the right choice. Growing doubt bars my response. Natsuki notices the hang-up. Hey, I know it's hard, but you've got to have some faith, alright? She's come back on her own before. It sucks sometimes, but all we can do is wait. We've offered her all we can. We offered her all we can. Now we have to respect how she handles things. Capiche? But what if... But what? What if something happens to her? What if... Natsuki cuts me off with a pointed glare. Cerberus, do you love Yuri or not? Question caught me off guard. Love? I certainly liked her, and I enjoyed the time we spent together. All the moments we shared between us. Just want her to be happy. I want to do all I can to help that happen. I do love her. Natsuki breaks into a smile and teasingly swings at my shoulder. There you go. That wasn't so hard, was it? Now you can trust her with this thing. You can trust her with this, right? She's strong. Yeah, I should. You're right. Thank you, Natsuki. She's a friend of the whole club. We all care about her. Just hang in there and let us know when she comes back, alright? I nod, feeling some of the weight of my worries fade away. Sure thing. Before I can start to head out, Natsuki stops me one last time. If you make her cry like this again, I won't let you forget it, alright? Wait. I don't recall Yuri ever doing that, though. Was that threat serious? Haha, just kidding. I gotta head home now. See ya. She smiles and waves at me as she exits the classroom, leaving me alone in the club room. Natsuki said she was kidding, but I certainly don't want to test if she is or not. My mind drifts to Yuri once again. Some concern still lingers, but Natsuki's known Yuri longer than I have. I resolve myself to trust Yuri and pray that the wait isn't too much longer. As I take my leave of the classroom, I find Yuri by the exit of the school, evidently waiting for me. She gives a cheerful smile as I approach. You didn't have to... Come on. We've always walked together. Why should today be any different? I chuckled and gave into a smile of my own. You're right. Thank you, Sayori. Really. Sayori beams her 1,000-watt grin as we start to head home. A cool afternoon breeze brings refreshment to me and Sayori as we amble down the familiar street. She hasn't said anything since we departed school, nor have I, but I get the sense that if I asked, she'd be happy to talk. I make a mental note to think of a way to properly thank her at some point. The whole club, really, at this point, with all that's happened, I don't know where I would be without them. We arrive home before too long. I face Sayori in front of our houses. Sayori, thank you for everything, even though I blew my fuse and caused all this stress. Sayori maintains her ever-present smile. Don't be too down on yourself, Cerberus. We all have our low points, but we don't let them define us, right? You're still my best friend, Cerberus. This won't change that. I know you're still you. Take it from me. I know it can be hard to pick yourself up at times. Don't think you have to deal with it all by yourself. Your friends are there for you. Sayori, was she always like this? Or have I just been blind to her unwavering support, after all that she's confided in me? Geez, I'm dense sometimes, aren't I? I don't think I can thank you enough, Sayori. The whole club, honestly. Sayori giggles. That's what friends are for, isn't it? I'll be next door if you need someone to talk to. I'll be sure to let you know if I do. We embrace and head our separate ways to our houses. I'm home earlier than normal, but it still feels like it was a long day. I collapse onto a couch and do a little more than aimlessly lie down for an indeterminate amount of time. I almost said intermediate. My thoughts drift once more over the whirlwind of the past several days. Was it really only that long since this all started? Yeah, guess it was. It's Friday, right? I have the whole weekend to ponder. While in my slump, I replay all the advice and encouragement I've been given. The plan is still waiting. Right, I can do that. Have faith in Yuri. Here at home, I'm left alone to stew in my own thoughts. All the assurance from today only did so much to stave off my growing worry. A day with no response, sure, but more than that, is everything really okay? Is there something more I should be doing? Yuri. I said I loved her today. I really do, right? Dang it! I shouldn't have to prove this to myself. What am I thinking? I envisioned flashbacks of all our time spent together as if on cue. Sharing our poems, the festival preparation and the festival itself, the bookshop, and then the breakup. Dang it, if only I could go back in time and fix things. If I had just talked to Yuri more about how she felt about everything. If I had controlled my temper better. I shake my head in frustration at myself. No, stop dwelling on what I could have done better. Just focus on what to do now. I attempt to change my train of thought. Whenever I was with Yuri, I felt at ease. Seeing the way she carries herself, maybe she doesn't see it, but I do. The way she blossoms whenever she talks about her passions. With it, no matter what, she stayed honest to herself. I imagine she could have given up on her interests, collecting knives. That's something I'm sure not many girls do. She didn't give in. She's remained steadfast and even shared it with me. If I were in her position, I don't know if I could have done the same. Yuri is unwavering in her loves and hobbies despite the ridicule and rumors. Could I do something like that? Do I have that kind of strength? Maybe. Maybe someday. More and more I come to realize that I miss how things were. Reading together, working together, even overcoming our boundaries together, with the hiccups that accompanied. Yuri was willing to separate from me because she wanted to preserve my reputation. It hurt, obviously, but she put my well-being before herself. In its own way, it was selfless. It was short-sighted, but I now realize the scope of the intent. If we get back together, I should tell her how much she means to me in all this, properly. I'll set things right. I need to. Just whenever we can talk next. My new resolve makes it even harder to just lounge around on the couch. What else can I do right now? Why would she be silent for so long anyways? I know Natsuki said that Yuri can take care of herself, but for days? What is she even doing by herself? Reading would be my first guess. I feel my pulse quicken in realization. Knives, choose the next collection. Oh god. How could I be so stupid? She... A text, who could... My heart skips a beat. It's Yuri. May I come over? I think this might be a good saving point, guys. It is getting a little late. Those of you guys who came out to the stream, thank you guys so much for coming out. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and all that jazz. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Or I will see you guys Monday, most likely, for my next stream, and it should be on Twitch. So, yeah. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I enjoyed this stream. I don't know if I'll be streaming a different game or if we'll be picking back up on this, but I'll have one of the two planned out. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for coming out here and watching my stream. I enjoyed playing this for y'all. And